I'm 30. Is there any 30-year-olds here? It's a very 30-year-old woo. Like you're too old to woo, you know, and they're like, like against a 20-year-old, they're like, yeah, life only gets better. 40-year-olds are like, I've got a mortgage, man. Shut the fuck up. Man, the 30-year-old millennial, which is strange. 30-year-old millennial, it just sounds wrong, right? Like, I didn't think we'd even make it this far. 30-year-old, being a 30-year-old millennial basically just means, like, I'm still borrowing money from my parents, but, like, my back hurts, you know? I'm like, hey, Mom, can I have $20 for my sciatica? It's when people hate us. People hate millennials, like as a generation. People are not a fan of us. And I get it. We complain a lot, you know? We're always like, we want houses and jobs. Like every generation has had their problems, you know? Generation before us, baby boomers, they were not, you know, perfect. They're all like, yeah, we're gonna fight the system. Till we turn 25, then we're all going to get a series of high-paying office jobs, pass a bunch of laws that deregulate the stock market, make it easier for corporations to ship jobs overseas. Then in 25 years, when the economy inevitably collapses and none of our kids can find work, we're going to blame it on the fact that when they were growing up, they got too many trophies. I hate that trophy argument so much. It's like I was a fat kid growing up, and so my parents forced me to play sports because they were like, Levi, you can't just watch reruns of Full House all summer. I was like, watch me. But so I was always on the team full of all the other fat, asthmatic kids who did not want to be there. And so, yeah, we got a lot of participation trophies. But, like, did we even want those trophies? I mean, like, yeah, we kind of wanted them, but we're never like, oh, this means I'm a winner. We're always just like, sweet, soccer's over. We start pretending like orange slices are a cool snack. But I'm like, I don't know, I'm trying to forgive baby boomers. Because, like, they messed up the economy, and then we inherited that from them. Millennials inherited this horrible economy from them. But then I realized, like, they also inherited something really bad from their parents, which was the idea that you should get married and have kids in your 20s. They all did that. It was crazy. Like, my dad, I'm 30 years old. My dad, when he was 30 years old, he had fucking 4 kids. If you include my credit card debt, I don't have $4. Like, my biggest problem in my life, apart from, like, you know, financial issues, which is just terrible, but, like, apart from that, my biggest problem in my life is sometimes I'll get, like, social anxiety, which just means, like, I'm at a party or something, I can get very uncomfortable, almost have, like, a bit of a panic attack. My dad had 4 kids. That's like being at the worst party, and you could never leave. Everyone's just shitting their pants and crying, and you have to pay for all of it. And also I realized like one of the things millennials and baby boomers we don't see eye to eye on is politics. In general, millennials are much more progressive. But then I realized like boomers used to be considered progressive back when they were our age. It's just the world changed. Like back then, in the 70s and stuff, it was way easier to be considered progressive. All you had to do was not actively fight a gay person, and people would be like, whoa, he's cutting edge. But then times change, and they're not considered progressive. And the world is changing so much faster now than it ever has before. There's no way in 50 years millennials are going to be considered progressive. Like in 50 years, we're going to be like, listen, I know that robots are people now. my granddaughter marry one. Our kids are gonna be like, Grandpa, I can't even with you right now. Like one of the big issues that everyone's talking about right now is transgender issues, right? Can someone be born in the wrong body? And millennials are like, yeah, of course they can. But in 50 years, we're just gonna be talking about whether or not people should have bodies. We're like, listen, call me old-fashioned, but I don't think my grandson should upload his consciousness to the hypercube and let his body be used as an avatar for the corporate consciousness of global McDonald's, Time Warner Disney. That's not right. Every generation has had the problem. Every generation, like even our grandparents' generation, right? The greatest generation. Yeah, sure. Like even that, like the greatest of the last three. For sure, hands down, not even a question. But greatest of all time, it wasn't like Socrates or Aristotle, it was my nanny. Okay, fine. But even then, right? Like they won World War II. Won World War II, defeated the Nazis. You can never take that away from them. But also, a lot of them were Nazis. Like half. That's why they had to have that whole war. I just feel like there's a lot of people walking around like, yeah, I'm 98 years old. I'm part of the greatest generation. It's like, oh yeah, you helped defeat the Nazis? Something like that. But